Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we're returning to our little Let's Play of Command Modern Air Naval Operations. So, last time we did actually win this scenario, and I was telling you that I was going to run it a couple of hours until we get to attack Kaliningrad. But here we are with a little bit of an interlude. So something happened and I want to show you what is going on. And I think this might be interesting, right? So, in the last hours, I've battled a little bit over Latvia, Lithuania, just a little bit of skirmishing really between a couple of fighters, bit of attritional warfare, nothing too spectacular. We've shot down a couple of their aircraft, they've shot down some of ours, but what we are generally seeing are these Su-27s, right? So these are normal type of fighters. There's the occasional Su-35, which is a much better fighter. So that's what we've been seeing. They are battling for air superiority over here. But just, let's say, half an hour ago, so these MiG-29 appears, and these MiG-29s, Fulcrums, are indeed multi-role aircraft, so they can serve as a fighter, but they can also serve as an attack platform, and seeing them for the first time, I'm not sure what they are doing here. They are weird. They are not flying at 480 knots, which is sort of the standard speed, nor are they flying at a very high speed. They are flying at a low speed and sort of medium altitude. This is somewhat untypical. I'm not sure what this means. We've also seen these boogers here appearing. We don't know what type of aircraft they are, but they've just been launched from Salt Sea, and I think they are somewhat coming over here. So I think this is the first time that we are seeing, or actually the second time that we're seeing a bomb attack run, or let's say a ground attack run from the Russians over here. So when I first saw these MiG-29s, I launched a couple of airplanes, and you know, in the last couple of minutes I've been launching more and more of them. So let's see what we've got in the area. I think they're coming in for our bridges again. The last time they did that was about, I think 8 hours ago. And they were devastating us. They were destroying all of these bridges because we were not prepared. We only had the American Royal Air Force under our command. Now we have a lot more. We have the Polish forces that are obviously stationed over here. We've got the Germans that are stationed over here. We've transferred some of them towards Polish airfields. So we are much better prepared, but we cannot allow more of these bridges here to collapse because this is the gap by which we must reinforce our front area in the Baltic countries against Russia. This is Belarus, which is considered neutral in this scenario. But over here, our forces need to get over here. We need to prepare to defend these bridges. So, what have we got in theater? We've got, I renamed all of these groups so that maybe it's a little bit clearer. We've got 2 Raptors, so very modern American aircraft. Ideally, with these guys, I would like to snipe these Su-24s. These guys are jamming our radar installations. These guys here are spying on us, so this is their eyes and their blockade of our eyes. So ideally, I would like to snipe that with these guys. Then we also got a couple of Danish Air Force F-16s over here. They're not too great. They've already launched a couple of their missiles, but maybe we can launch a couple of shots at these MiG-29s. Slightly worried about these Su-27s. They are trying to get at a couple of our Eurofighters, but these guys are basically returning to base already anyway. So that's okay. So that's what we have in theater. Not much, just about 4 aircraft over here. But a lot more are coming in. So we've launched from the Polish Air Force a couple of MiG-29s, so legacy Russian aircraft that they have still in stores. These are not the greatest, but I think against bombers they are pretty good. So we've launched 5 of these aircraft. We've also launched a couple of F-16s from the Poles, so 4 more. So that's 9 aircraft in total. Then what we've got is just a couple of small ones. I'll talk about these later. From the German side, we've got a couple of fighter wings in the air. We've got the Eurofighters, 2 Eurofighters over here. Launched a couple of their missiles at some aircraft in Kaliningrad, so they're a little bit low on ammo, but let's keep them around Kaliningrad. Maybe they're going to be useful. We also have a couple of aircrafts launched here from Rostock. So 2 Eurofighters here in the air, 2 Eurofighters there in the air. They're going to come up north over here into Latvia, hopefully trying to intercept them. We also got 4 Royal Air Force F-15s, which are coming into Latvia, all the way from the UK actually, but they are over here and they should be doing some good work over here. So we are scrambling quite a bit of air power. That must be more than 10 planes in total. That's 5, 9, 13, 15. Let's call it 20 aircraft or so that we are bringing into this area over here, which is of course in addition to all of these guys here that are withdrawing at the moment. We also have a couple of more that we could scramble at a moment's notice. So in Latvia, we do have a couple of F-16s from the Portuguese Air Force. We also brought in a couple of Eurofighters, or Typhoons as they're called in the UK, in over here towards Estonia, all the way from the UK actually. So these guys are over there and they should be okay. You know what, actually I think we must have a couple more more Typhoons over here. Okay, yeah, you know what, let's launch these guys and bring them up over towards Estonia. Other than that, I also did a little bit of stuff here with these tankers. So these Druk tankers here, they are basically carrying, they're different scenarios. You can either have a Druk, which is this kind of thing, or you can have a boom, which is this kind of thing. So there are different ways to refuel. Most of our aircraft only can refuel from these Stratotankers, whereas these commander jets are only, I think, for the Eurofighters. They are viable. So we're going to transfer our Eurofighters over here towards Bornholm. They're going to loiter there. We've got a couple of other tankers over here as well. Some Stratotankers. Not sure why I can't select them. Anyway, right. So that's it for the tankers. I think we should be launching some more aircraft. We don't have that much in Last. We do have a couple of F-16s. Let's wait for them to be in reserve. But in Ramstein, I think it's fair to at least launch another pair of Raptors over here. So let's do that. Also, as I said, we are preparing just sort of intermediately for a strike on Kaliningrad itself. It's going to take another 2 hours for that to be ready. But I think it might make sense to prepare some tankers in and get some tankers basically towards our staging areas. So you know what? Let's actually launch all of these guys here and assign them towards the tanker mission in Poland. So these guys here are going to come over here towards this area and be ready to refuel some aircraft. That might be useful for all of our guys here in the area, but also for these F-22s once they return. So that should give them a little bit more time over mission. Also, from Mildenhall, I would like to launch a couple of more tankers as well. So all of these guys are tankers. No, just these two and all of these four. But you know what? I think it's fine to assign all of these guys here towards the Bornholm tankers. So get them over here and be ready for strike there. Right. So, without further ado, let's resume the game over here and see what's going to develop over here. The most important thing first is to get, again, these MiG-29s and hopefully be able to intercept them. Not sure why the game is not processing there. There we go. It's taking a little bit of time here as all of these things are developing. Right, so we are trying to get to these MiG-29s. We are trying to intercept them. These F-15s might be able to take out these Su-27s. There are some more Su-27s around, I think, up over here, yeah. So they are bringing reinforcements all the way from over here. I think we can definitively conclude that these guys here are hostile. So this is where the Su-27s are coming from. They're fighters for air superiority, but that's okay. They have quite a distance to travel. I'm mostly concerned about these bombers. We must definitively stop the bombers. And it would be like ideal to kill this guy as well. Right, so that I think should roundabout settle it. Oh, a couple of F-15s have launched from Lakenheath. So let's grab these guys and let's bring them all the way up over here. Maybe they're gonna refuel over Bornholm. Depends a little bit on what we see. And you know what? I'm gonna grab these guys here. I'm gonna call this one number 1. And just to be a little bit clearer, we're gonna call these guys here number 2. Right, and they're gonna come over there. That's fine. They do have a very good sort of reach, about 1,000 miles. That will go up as they are climbing into thinner air where the air resistance is a little bit lower. Okay, here we need to be a little bit careful now because these guys here are turning in towards the south, and we would actually like to kill these guys there and not deal with these fighters. We don't have that much fuel to deal with these fighters. So let's bring our Danish guys a little bit back over here. Not sure what these guys are doing, whether they're trying to intercept us. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You can see they are reacting to our maneuvers here. So what would we like to do then? I think what we could do is bring these Raptors up a little. I mean, these guys really don't have enough missiles to really dodge it out with a couple of fighters, so I don't really want to do that. Ooh, a couple of new contacts over there. Interesting. We don't know much about these guys, but they are over Russian territory, so I'm gonna mark them as hostile. Okay, so what we could do is try to intercept these guys, or do something else entirely. These guys are turning north though, so you know what? Let's bring these Danish F-16s into the path of these guys here, while our Raptors are trying to make their way up due north to engage these fighters. Raptors are generally good at engaging fighters, so I think that's going to be okay. I'm still extremely irritated at these MiG-29s. What are they doing? Do they have a fighter loadout? Do they have an attack loadout? I simply do not know. Right, okay, let's get into the path of these guys. See what's going to happen over there. You're still very low? No, you're kind of high actually. That's okay. There's also this guy. We're bringing in a couple of guys back over here. I've not renamed these. These are just called flight. If it's called flight, it's basically returning towards its base, which I think is okay. Right. MiG-29s are coming in to intercept these guys. That's okay. You're gonna have more than enough fuel, I believe, so that should be okay. I think we can accelerate time here a little bit if my computer does actually go ahead with this. Okay, these MiG-29s are returning. This guy here is out of ammo, so that's why he's returning, as is this Su-35. That's just been a couple of skirmishes. I don't think they're too interesting. As soon as we're about 20 miles from this guy with this submarine, I think I would like to launch a torpedo. The reason why it's currently not showing that this would be in range is that torpedoes they have a similar speed as ships do. So basically, a torpedo might run twice as fast as a ship, but that doesn't quite mean that, you know, if let's say, okay, let me explain that in more detail. So let's look at the torpedo over here, the Mark 48. It does have a range of, let's call it 20 nautical miles at 65 knots. So it does have two speed settings. Let's ignore that for a moment here. So if I launch that at a ship that is 20 miles away, that ship might sail out of range soon. So it would take about, let's say, 20 minutes, 17 minutes or so to reach its destination, right? It's running 65 knots, so that's about a third of an hour, maybe a little bit less. So let's call it 18 or 17 minutes or so until it reaches the impact zone at 20 miles. In 17 minutes, that guy could run out and just start to run away. But, however, this guy has been holding this position for a very, very long time. So I think it would be okay just to launch at 20 miles, which is right about now. But, more importantly, we are seeing some surface-to-air missiles being launched over here. I'm not sure what they are being launched at. Potentially this flight over here. So, this guy has actually a bit of a problem anyway, because he's way too low. Could be at anyone really though. This guy here does have an enormous range. I think we can't even see it. Yeah, this is the range of these guys, so not really sure what he's launching at, but so either it's these MiG-29s, which are fairly high up. I suppose it cannot be this guy, so let's see where that missile goes and react to that. I think it's on this guy here. I think it's launching at this MiG-29. The issue is we cannot really do that much about it because this guy is almost out of fuel. Okay, nevertheless, let's try to get you as low as possible. Your sensors are off, yes, they are. Okay, I don't think this does anything, but let's lay chav here. Right. Okay, you know what? You're refusing to go even low. Yeah, but it does definitely look as though these guys are... Okay, we're gonna lose that flight. Here's another missile. It seems like these Su-27s are launching at our F-16s, at our Danish F-16s. The issue here is somewhat similar. So they have a range of potentially up to 70 miles, right? We are 58 miles away. Let's try to run away from this. Let's simply Let's simply go on afterburner speed here and make sure, so that's about there, that we are getting at least this far away, and afterwards we can sort of come around this way. I think we might be able to outrun this missile. We don't know how fast it is, but if, you know, again, it's a similar issue as before. They only have range up till here. If we can get out of that range at the time that this missile does arrive in our vicinity, we'll be doing pretty well. So that's nice to see. A couple of Typhoons have left from this UK base all the way over there. So there we are. These guys here. Let's bring them over towards Estonia in more or less a direct path. Actually, are the Typhoons also... How can you refuel? Probe refueling. Okay, so you could refuel from Bornholm on your way. Let's bring you over here first. I think you'll be alright, but let's see about that. Right, okay. These guys are toast. And on the other hand, over here, it seems... Wait a minute, what are you doing? You're returning to base? No, 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 my friend. You should not be returning to base. But I think we've lost these missiles already. I'm not sure why they dropped, but they did, so that's nice. Yeah, but you are launching more there. And we're seeing more and more aircrafts being launched at us, so that is potentially an issue. A couple of Su-27s though. Do we want to try to bring in more aircraft? I think we might. So let's, on Marlborough Air Base over here, let's at least launch the MiG-29s. They're not our greatest asset, but let's bring them in. I think that's going to be alright. Okay. Last thing I did want to talk about is this guy over here. So this is a bomber, and as soon as he's over here, we will be trying to bring him in and attack this raid installation. This is a little bit more of a trial. I don't think it's the wisest thing to do, but let's try it anyway. Okay, you guys need to come up over here. Are you allowed to refuel? You know what? We are gonna... No, because we're probably gonna go there immediately. Come on, you need to go south. There's a missile being launched at you. For some reason, not both of these guys are turning south. Only one of them is. I think the other one might be having too little fuel. Yeah, there we go. That's the MiG-29 south of Kaliningrad. You guys have way too little. Okay, let's ask you to go at least to military speed. It's slightly faster. So that should be okay. You're coming in to attack these MiG-29, so that should be okay. We've got all of these guys here coming to defend our bridges, so that's okay. And then we have this guy. Trying to come towards this radar installation, sort of in a direct path from their attack. And I think these bombs do have a minimum altitude. Ooh, a lot of guys are ready now. That's nice to see. They have a minimum launch altitude of 10,000 feet. So that is probably where we need to be. Although it might reduce our range. I think these guys are something like... Okay, let's get over here and go maximum altitude then. Maybe increase our range. What is your range anyway? 12 miles, if we are lucky. Okay, fine. So what are these missiles coming for? Oh, they're coming for this guy, who is stupidly withdrawing. Okay, can I... There's nothing that says you should be doing this. Why are you doing this? Okay, let's unassign units. Okay, now you're traveling south. Okay, that's good, but it might be a little late. You know what? Let's crank up the speed on these Raptors so that we can engage these guys over there. Because I definitely don't want to lose my F-16 here. They'll still carry valuable armor, and it's good to have it over here. Right, these F-15s do need to come in a little bit lower to be able to intercept anyone. Oh well, maybe come up over there so that you're in a good position to intercept these guys in the end. That's nice to see. A couple of guys are departing from Rammstein. That's okay, you are simply gonna come up over here and we're gonna join you up to these groups, and that should be okay. Right. So, big issue up here, and then we have got this issue down there. 20 miles. Can wait a little while over there. Oh, I think the missile here has run its course, so that's okay. Let's get you over here on a cruise speed so that you're not immediately withdrawing. Then we can engage these guys, hopefully at least. Right, and these... They do have an active thingy over here, which indicates that they are launching missiles at us. So I'm gonna... Yeah, there we go. That's the missiles. They are in the air. I very much suspect that they are going for the F-16s, but we don't know exactly. So let's make sure that these guys over here have active radar. So that we are painting these guys. And then we are launching missiles, and we are going to launch them soon, and that should... There we go. Come on, another missile at this guy. There we go. And at this point we can go to a lower speed setting, maybe even loitering. But that should mean that our missiles are now streaming towards them at 2,500 knots. They are a little bit slower, so our missiles will probably arrive here soon enough for them to turn around and try to disengage from us. We have more information on these guys now. These are MiG-29's SMTs, so I suspect that they are coming in to engage us. Look at their range though. Their range is fabulous. Okay, our missiles are closing in. Our F-16s are running away, so I'm fairly optimistic about that. No aircraft, no enemy aircraft over Kaliningrad at least. Right, and you here, I would simply like, and this is always a little bit fiddly, to attack over there. You engaged offensive. You are doing your attack run. Let's see whether you're going to be shot down by AA. I suspect that you will be. But it's simply interesting to see that. You're not actually Polish Air Force. I think you're UK. I unfortunately did not name you correctly. You know what? Let's correct that. This is the Royal Air Force. Good. We also have a strike craft. That is definitely from the Polish Air Force though. This guy over here, I think. And this guy will be launching a standoff weapon against some of these radar installations up and over there. MiG-29 departed from down here. So let's bring you up towards defending this area as well. I think we can keep you high in the air. But let's see. Right, so missiles are streaming towards this F-16. But on the other hand also towards these Su-27s. And I think soon these guys will turn around. Hopefully. You can see they are starting to turn. And that's pretty good because that means they will be losing the target lock on these guys. And if they are losing target lock, I think that means... I do hear a missile launch. Let's hold on a second over here. Because I want to know who's launching at what. I certainly didn't tell anyone to launch. Ooh, over here. Interestingly enough, okay, we've got this ship over here. And there are missiles being launched at this ship. With this little 2, you can see that. But I don't know from where. Probably from these Finnish air defenses. Ground defenses. Oh, over here. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let's see whether that is gonna work. But our issue is down here. The Finns are not under our control. They're doing this more or less automatically. So yeah, there we go. These missiles did lose target lock because they are not painting these guys anymore with active radar, so that's very nice to see. And you know what? You guys here can actually go to cruise speed. You don't need burning quite as much fuel there. Right, and we are engaging there, so that's nice to see. And you guys can actually come in over here and start attacking these guys. So, hopefully we are going to hit them over here. Our missiles don't really have the best chance to hit, so yeah, you can see about a third chance of hitting or killing with any engagement. And that is only if we are able to spoof them. But there we go. One of these aircraft is shot down, so that's nice to see. The other one though might survive. Come on. Nice! Good. Very good. So yeah, definitely they did lose 2 of their aircrafts there. That's a good result for us. Let's bring these Raptors in over here. Again, I would like to destroy some of these SU-24s, but again, these MiG-29s are a fairly high value target as well. And I think our Danish Air Force guys here will be able to do something. We need to be a little bit careful with these surface-to-air missiles there. MiG-29s, SU-24s. Everything else is fine down there. Okay, this is 19 miles away. Can I actually ask you to engage? It's out of weapon range. Well, the issue is it's not really out of weapon range. It's only out of kinematic range. Right, so if we go for this here, kinematic range for manual launchers only, I think I should be able to do this now. Right, so yeah, there we go. Let's assign a single torpedo to that. And that should be... Oh, damn it. You need to creep and do that at periscope depth. You're way too fast is the issue here. And that will break the cable that is connecting the torpedo towards the submarine. And there we go. That means that this guy is now running on its course. Well, too bad, but we'll slow down and that should be okay. Right, up over here, things are developing a little bit, so you might well be coming in towards... Will you be able to engage with these MPs? I'm not too sure. This is what, a 60-mile range? Yeah. Okay, let's try to bring you a little bit close towards the board over here. And you definitely do not need to speed up that fast. You know what, let's turn off your radar anyway, because you're a stealth aircraft, and it would be nice to make a little bit of use of that. Right, and the F-16s will be the first one to blunt, hopefully, these MiG-29s. But we are bringing in more forces there, so that's great to see. How many guys do we see? SU-24s, I think these guys are on a attack path over here, actually. More SU-27s over there. Some SU-27s there. All of these guys here are being engaged. So that's lovely to see. Finn's doing their job pretty well there. There's bombers coming in at a very high altitude. Let's get you towards whatever you need to be at to do your offensive action in the best possible manner. Right, Eurofighters. Ooh, message! The North Atlantic Council condemns the brutal and violent actions undertaken by the Russian Federation and perpetrated upon the Baltic states of Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia. All NATO nations implore Russia to cease and desist from these illegal aggressions and to withdraw from the... Yeah, it's not gonna do anything. It's just a declaration. Right, so that will, in game terms, probably not change anything. It's probably not gonna change anything in real terms either. Right, so the question here with these guys is, do we want to drop low so that this SAM battery isn't able to engage us? And I think that is something that we should be doing here. So, we have about 7 minutes of fuel left, which is okay. So let's get you towards loitering and minimum altitude. Do you have a minimum altitude to launch? You do, 200 feet above ground. Okay, so let's get you towards 200 feet above ground. On a low speed so that we are not running towards them quite as fast, that we have a little bit more fuel left. We have 8 minutes of fuel until we need to turn back. And that's going to increase as we go lower. Okay, but this is fine. Let's actually turn on our radar. And if we do have any electronic countermeasures. We should also be turning on those. Yeah, you're dropping low, not quite as fast as I would like you to. I think as soon as you launch, you'll probably be counter-launched from these guys. MiG-29's over there, MiG-29's, Fencer. Right, let's see whether we can deal with these guys over here. We might actually be going for this radar installation, which is currently not active, because we are afraid that we'd be losing that pretty soon. We're losing contact of this guy every now and then, interestingly enough. Even though he's flying very high. Okay, let's engage. It's 2 aircraft. We do have 6 missiles. Let's allocate 1 to you and 1 to you. Shouldn't be out of weapon range, really. You might be needing a little bit of a boost to actually gain this distance. Okay, but we are on a very clear intercept here. Don't want to be higher or faster. Again, due to the surface-to-air missiles over there. For the Raptors, they shouldn't be much of an issue. MiG-29's over there, MiG-29 there. Again, this Fencer would be nice to take down. This bomber is coming in at fairly high speed now. He has 8 bombs. So. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, there we go. So that's the first launch there. So far so good. How are these missiles doing? They're coming in from over there. I kind of doubt whether that's going to be enough to engage them. But let's see. Right, missiles streaming towards them. So far so good. Also very low. You have about 3 minutes of fuel left. That's not that much. Okay. You are very close to what's over here. But your range really isn't that great. I think you need to be a lot higher to be able to do a lot of damage. Okay, let's see whether... I think they are going to launch soon and we're probably going to lose this this F-15E. But let's see. We don't know. Let's also briefly check whether I haven't forgotten any group over here. No, seems like everyone is flying out. Oh, yeah, there we are actually. There is a group of F-22s. So let's bring these guys over here. Haven't lost 6 minutes or so. It's not ideal. Okay. Hopefully you're gonna do a good job over here. We shouldn't get too close to these guys because they are carrying short range defenses even if they are bombers, they are carrying short range defenses. You're starting to drop a little bit low and starting to react to these missiles coming in. You've probably seen them and you know now that they are coming towards you. Lots of MiG-29s. Surface-to-air missile detected over here. Interesting. So what are you going for? You are probably launching... Yes. Okay. So, this guy over here has launched 2 bombs, right? These JDAMs. Interestingly enough, they are classified as a missile, which is unfortunate a little bit actually. Right, so let's see whether we can allocate more weapons over here. Let's allocate 2 more missiles over there. And once you've launched those, one more. Come on, one more. Okay, maybe not. You're going to come down here. You're going to be on minimum altitude after bonus speed. And hopefully this is going to allow you to get away from these surface-to-air missiles. Let's see. I think we might be screwed. More surface-to-air missiles? They might also be coming in towards our bombs themselves. Again, remember this is only really a trial. Ooh. Did we shoot them down? No, that was a miss. So there's the next missile. Come on, the second one. Do hit, please. Ah, damn it. Okay, these Danish F-16s. You can go all out now, I think. You've been fired on by 2. You haven't been fired. Yeah, you've been fired on by 2. You've been fired on by 2. That's okay. All of your weapons are allocated. So I think soon we'll see you running out of any ammunition, but that's okay because you only have very little fuel. Notice that this has gone up because these guys are firing off their missiles, and that reduces drag and all of that. Okay. 4 surface-to-air missiles. It appears a little bit like they are indeed coming towards our bombs and not the bomber. But we don't know exactly. It's interesting to see though. Okay, I think you can go to military speed. It's slightly slower, but so much more fuel efficient. Okay, that's fine. This guy is actually pretty heavily damaged, so that's why he's not moving. Okay, let's launch one of our last torpedoes here. And that should be okay, because it does have the range. Right, down here, I think our missiles... No, they're probably not going to strike. He's going to strike first. At least these 2 surface-to-air missiles are going to engage our bombs first. It's interesting to see that they can engage actually bombs that are falling. Yeah, there's one. 58% chance to hit. Second one did miss though, so that's okay. We still have 3 bombs falling, and they only have 2 surface-to-air missiles, so... And I think these guys might be coming in faster. A little bit more importantly even, they are launching more missiles. Okay, that's fine. Let's bring you up over here and towards there. I think you might be able to strike another time, maybe. Nice. So wait a minute. Russian aircraft destroyed by the JSM? Oh, that's over there. That's the MiG-29. Okay, so we have destroyed 1 MiG-29 over there. That's great. We also see Russia maintains air superiority. Okay, we've missed the radar installation by 75 feet, but I think that's enough to actually destroy it still, so that's great. And over here, so we've destroyed one of their missiles. And let's bring you over here because I would like to resume radar contact with this guy so that we can at least retarget this or something. Okay, you know what? Let's come in over there. Let's stay on sort of a medium altitude. Because that might allow you to engage with all of your sidewinders. These are short-range weapons, and they are not what I usually go for, but if you are this close anyway, we might as well. Good. We are seeing more contacts though, which I think is these guys over there. Yeah, this is definitely a major attack that is underway now, so yeah. Let's try to get more people in the air and ready to defend themselves. In Minsk there's no one, but I think in Lask we do at least have some F-16s, and we are going to launch them as a group. Over here you guys are all preparing for some sort of standard weapons and all of that, so you really don't have that much. We do have a couple of Eurofighters over here that we could launch. Let's do so. Let's launch these guys as a group and then see whether we can defend against this air attack. Whoa! Don't want to run into these missiles, certainly not by accident. You have 4 bombs left, so that does lead me to believe that if we were to come, let's say, over there, I'm not sure what this missile is going for. But we did take out this radar installation, and that's already pretty good news. Could attack this airfield, but I don't think it's that worthwhile. So let's try to go for this radar installation up over there. Are you in fact coming in for my Polish Air Force? MiG-29s? Do hear more missile launchers, which might be over here. And indeed they are. But they might be counter-launching. Yes, they are. Okay, my Danish friends. Yeah, they are launching at us, we are launching at them. Come on, I do know you have a second Sidewinder. I don't know why you're running away already. Come on, launch your second Sidewinder. Stop. Are you too high? Are you too low? I don't know. Yeah, there we go. That's a second. Okay, let's go minimum altitude. Afterburner speed. Nice. You can run away now, please. Okay, there's another missile coming in. We can run away though. I'm fairly confident that we can. We just need to be minimum altitude afterburner. I think that's okay. Hopefully we'll be able to do this. And hopefully one of these missiles is gonna kill this guy. Ah, come on. Time is running to a crawl over here. Nice, there we go. Hopefully, but this is a self... Very good, okay. Stop. Okay, great. So these guys here have done their job fairly well. Let's get them on a silent path over here. And I think you can run basically to Bornholm unmolested. So let's actually get you towards no override, just cruise speed. Probably high altitude. And that should be okay. Great. So, that being said, are you actually really going for these guys? You might be. You might very well be doing that. Also, there's a missile right over these bombers over there. But no, it wasn't aimed at you, so that's great. You do have enough fuel for some time. I think you are, in fact, passing behind these guys. So, you guys can go back to a high altitude. Are you? Yeah, I think you're just randomly passing by there. Right, so let's bring you up sort of this way. That should be okay. Great. So we are getting more aircraft in here. You guys are climbing towards a higher altitude. You have more than enough fuel actually to get home, so that's great to see. We've got these Raptors. There are a lot of fighters and SU-24s over here. Again, this one, I would so much like to defeat you. But, you know what, that's not possible. So, let's actually go ahead and launch one missile at each of these guys. Maybe the Raptors are going to be able to do that. Probably they do need to turn on radar in a second, but that should be okay. And I don't think they'll be able to engage this with the surface-to-air missiles. Still so many aircrafts coming in, including a fighter package. But the Raptors are pretty good, so maybe they'll be able to do something. Torpedoes coming in towards over there. That's okay. Right, and they did lose that radar installation, so I'm extremely happy about that. Whereas our strike craft over there. So you should be able to engage maybe this radar installation, maybe even these. I kind of doubt it. They do have this standoff weapon, and they're definitely able to engage that with surface-to-air missiles. But, you know, as we are gradually nagging at their outer defenses, I think that's a pretty good start there, so that's nice. Right, that being said, it's 45 minutes now, so I think we do need to put in a cut here, but I do look forward to seeing you guys next time to see out how exactly our air defense does pan out over there. So, see you guys next time. Bye bye.